Alrighty then, we've talked a bit about globalization, our plan for understanding the entire planet, and a little bit about the left versus the right. The learning's happening already here in the intro videos. But we actually got a college course to take here. So how is this all going to work out for you, the student, for you to do stuff in order to earn your grade? AKA, how do I get my A? Because I can't hear you saying it right this second, because this is a recording, but I can sense it. So many of you, hundreds, nay, thousands of you, are saying right now, how do I get an A in this crazy class? Well, let's go through that now, shall we? Now, this is what I call an experimental hybrid / online class. And here's why. Point one. This is an online class. There is no meeting time. There's not a designated classroom space and a Monday, Wednesday, Friday slot at noon or none of that stuff. It's really up to you to view the materials and do the stuff in order to earn your grade. We're going to go over that in some detail in just a second. But it's an online class. Self-paced. That brings us to the much more important point two. This is experimental for probably most of you, because it's what I call a point accumulation experience, meaning that it's at your pace and your grading fate is in your own hands. There are no midterm and final exams. There's no single big term paper you have to write. I'm not going to give you 2 or 3 or 4 things to do and then grade you just on those things, and then I assess your knowledge and I give you an A, B, C, or F. This is, hey, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff to do, and there's tons of points to earn, and it's up to you to earn those points. And once you hit the peak, once you hit that point total that gives you an A, you're done. Okay? More on that in a sec as well. Point 3. Because it's online, we don't want to make it just dull and have you just watching videos of me, although there will be plenty of that. We're trying to incorporate as much social networking, social media as possible in order to give you as much of a voice in this class and the content of it, and increased interaction with moi, if you want it, in various ways throughout the semester. And that brings us to point 4. That is that having said all this other stuff about how the class is online, and you'll be watching lots of videos of me, but not exclusively that, I'll be doing flash lectures throughout the semester from undisclosed, as of to unknown points on campus. I don't even know where it's going to happen. Meaning, when I get a wild hair, I'm just going to show up somewhere on campus and send out a notice saying, hey, does anybody want to come chat with me right now live? I'll give a live lecture on the election that's coming up. Although, man, I don't want to do that. I'll give a live lecture about something happening in Siberia. That's more fascinating to me. But that is going to happen, and I'm actually going to devise a few other activities that might have you out and about on campus at any given time doing other things. So it's an online class, yes, and you can take it all online and never do anything else, but there'll be some other things you can do to interact and party with me in various ways. Now, usually the questions that most students ask prior to semester launch is, what books do I gotta buy? Do I gotta buy a book? Because that sucks, because I have to pay all this money to be in college, and tuition's really expensive, and there's fees, and I had to get a house and rent, and books are expensive. Yeah, they are. Everybody's ripping off everybody anymore. Woo! We're all in this big scam called higher education here in 2016. But, having said that, yeah, you do have to buy a book. We have a whole bunch of free resources, but we do have to purchase a book in order to operate the course platform. The book in question is the 8th edition of the Plaid Avenger's World. The goofiest textbook you'll ever stumble across. 8th edition, Masks and Mayhem in the Middle East. Now, the reason that you need to buy a newer, unused copy of this textbook is that it has a lot of new information from the previous edition, but there's also a code inside of it that you need in order to get into the course management platform where you're going to take all of the quizzes and tests and accumulate all your points and get your A and all that stuff. Let me say this as clearly as I can right now. We will not be using any of the universities' course platform system, of which I don't even know how many they got now. But they can't handle the numbers that this class has, so it's a private one. That's why you buy the book, the 8th edition, Mask of Mayhem. And you'll see that once you get that book on the inside cover, if you buy a paper copy of it on the inside front cover, it'll give you instructions on how to get to the course management system, and it'll give you the access code there. You can also buy this digitally for a lot cheaper. And I'll send out emails about all this stuff. The cheaper digital version, they'll email you all the instructions to get to the course management system along with your passkey code, whatever these people are doing nowadays. So yes, you do need to buy that book. I suggest buying it sooner rather than later. I suggest digital over paper. But you do you. Just do it now. Do not wait till even the second week of class to buy this book, because you got to get online and you got to start taking quizzes. And this is how I roll. I'm like this old school professor, even though I appear all young and hip and stuff. I'm kind of old school. Class starts on day one, and we start doing stuff on day one. So there's none of this, oh, I didn't get my textbook for 3 weeks, so I didn't get into the class system, and I didn't take any quizzes, so what do? It's called fail. Check it out. But really, don't check it out. Get the book, get online, get happening, get engaged in this class now. In fact, you can do it before the semester even begins. Get it going. That's resource 1, the textbook. Resource 2, we have an online course management system through that book that I've now described in a little bit of detail. And this online course management system is called Moodle. It rhymes with noodle, but it's with an M, so it's Moodle. And it's outside of the university's course management systems that they run. It's moodle.plaidavenger.com is where you'll be going. All class materials and testing, I should say all quizzing materials and testing is done through this site. It is 100% secure. It is run by top-notch professionals. It's why you purchase this kind of entry key to get into it. And you'll run your entire semester. All your activities will be done here. And then at the end of the semester, we'll translate your grades back into the university system. Having said that, okay, as I suggested, when you purchase the book paper copy, or you'll see it on the inside front cover, or if you get a digital copy, they'll email you directions on where to get to the site and the passcode. Please do keep in mind, because this is a real university course, that we need to translate your grades from this exterior private database back into the university system. Whenever you are signing up for this site, please use your real name. I know it's kind of weird, I have to say this, but your real name's actually not even quite as important as your real student number, because we have to know that it's you in this other database. At the end of the semester, we move the grades back into the university system where your real name and student number are, and there will be those people that just make up fake names or get to put in their wrong student number, and at the end of the semester they have an F, even though they earned an A, because we can't figure out who you are. So take the time, sign up early, sign up now, but get onto that course management system and put in the correct information so that we can make sure you get the grade you have earned. Resource 3 is that we have a website, the free website, chocked full of fun, and that would be my personal website that I built for this class called PlaidAvenger.com. Not the Moodle, PlaidAvenger.com, it's PlaidAvenger.com. And on this website, you'll find a plethora of pleasurable learning experiences, should you choose so. A lot of stuff we actually won't use for this class, but you can go browse around. There are forums in there. There are world leader pages where you can click on different countries and see who's in charge. There will be film listings for stuff we're using in the class. Most importantly, though, is when you scroll across the top bar there, and all videos and everything will be posted here, and any flash quizzes I do or any new stuff that pops up will all appear on the site. But mostly what you need to know right this second is that when you scroll across that top bar, you'll see videos, interviews, leaders, forum. Videos, the very first one, when you mouse over, it's going to pull down a little menu that says Plaidcast and Professor Lectures. There you go. That's the one that you'll need probably sooner rather than later. And again, this is a free website, so you don't need no pass keys or codes to get into this and start watching stuff right this second. It's where you're watching this right now, I assume. But under the Professor Lectures tab, if you click on that, you can go ahead and kind of see what's up for the rest of the semester. You'll see a bunch of hot links for global topics as well as world regions that we'll be using. Not all of these we'll be using for this course this semester, but they're there if you want to view other material, but all of the class materials will be posted up here. As I'm saying for the third time, this is a free site, so all of the lectures of me, and of course at the top of this page you see an awesome picture of the professor, my professor persona there with the smoking jacket and the pipe and the glass of wine, reading some ancient text. I love, in front of the fireplace, I love being the kind of professor persona. But all of this is for free. All the lectures we'll ever do for this class posted up online, infinity, forever, that you can tap into even after you graduate. But more importantly, you can share this with family and friends. Your family, if they want to say, hey, what about paying for kid in college? What's a college professor's teaching you? You can say, here it is, Mom and Dad. It's right here on this site. They can follow along with you all semester. So all the course data, video stuff you're going to watch is going to be posted up here. And actually not even just here. It's also posted on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel. And on iTunes. But if we go back to that page and see all of the hot linked topics that we have, you will click on any one of those for whatever is assigned that week. And if you click on, say, the intro, it'll take you to another page. It shows you all the series of videos. So smaller vignettes, you'll have to watch maybe all of them on that page in order to go take a quiz on it, or maybe just 2 or 3 of them this week and 2 or 3 of them next week. Every week I'll send out a class email saying, go to this site, watch these 3 or 4 or 5 videos, again, go take a quiz on it, or go over here and watch this stuff and then take a quiz on that. It's going to be well outlined, but here is the resource where a lot of that stuff will be located, as well as iTunes, as well as YouTube. Resource 4 that we'll be using, again, this is, if you want to try to increase interaction with you as much as I can for an online course. We have online live office hours every week, where it'll either be a Monday or Tuesday evening, probably about 7 or 8, or 8 or 9. I'll get online and I'll send out a class email saying, hey, I'm online right now on this site called Ustream, and you can tap into that, see me there talking, kind of like this, but this isn't live. So if you ask me a question, I can't answer back. But on Ustream during live office hours, you can. You can ask me anything you want to, type it in, or pull up a video window and say, hey, what's going on with this situation in the Middle East? Or, hey, what's going on? I don't understand this part of the book. What's going on with that? And I'll answer the question for you live. So, and all that's free and open to the public as well, everyone in the class and anybody else you want to show it to. Okay, so that's the places where you can find the stuff and see the stuff and do the stuff. Everything's free except for that Moodle site where you actually have to take quizzes. Again, it's for security reasons, so we can attest that you're actually the one taking the quizzes on that site, and all your private information is protected. So everything else is free. Moodle, that's where you go to do stuff. Okay, well, what stuff do I got to do? Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes that you really want to know about. Back to that, how do I get my A? Gosh darn it, because I want to get an A in this class. I don't want to get an A in every class, so I get a good college degree and my GPA is high and I get a good job and a nice house and a nicer car and a nicer spouse. Or maybe some people say a nice spouse and a nicer car. Whatever you want. If you want to live a nice life and live happily ever after, and that all is banking on you getting an A in this class, and if you don't, life is over. Well, that's questionable. Relax is what I always tell college students right from the get-go. I can't help you with all of that other stuff. I can help you in this course, and that's what I want to do. And do keep in mind this awesome thing we call university. This awesome experience, it's called college. It's really not to get you a good job and a good house and a nicer car. It's really about this thing called learning and expanding your mind and bumping into ideas and other people and other cultural things that you had not thought about before, and enriching yourselves in order to better prepare you to do more and better and have a greater life. That's what I'm here for anyway. So I can't help you with for those of you that are fixated on if you don't get an A that somehow the world is going to end, I can't help you that much. I suggest counseling immediately. But I can help for those that are wondering, okay, how do I earn points in this class? You've talked a lot about it already, but I haven't got a lot of details. What's this point accumulation thing? It quite simply is, I'm actually going to give you more point opportunities than you even need to get an A. What? What did he just say? I might actually give you twice as many opportunities for points than you need to get an A. And what you're going to do is, I'm going to tell you all of these things every week. I'm going to say you can do this, and this, and that, and this, and that, and this, and it's all worth different points. And you just keep earning points until you get the grade you want, and then you're done. If you just want a C, I don't know how many points a C is. Let's say you need 1,000 points to get a C. Once you get to 1,000 points, you're done. And that could be in week 5 of class. It's up to you. Maybe you want to get an A. I think that's 1,400 points. You need 1,400 points to get an A. You work really hard in the first month or 2 months, or 2.5 months. You might find by Thanksgiving break, you already have 1,400 points. And you're going to say, does that mean I have an A and I'm done? Yes! So basically, I'm going to say here's a slew of work to do. Do what you like, when you like, with some caveats that I'll get to in a minute. And the harder you work, the more you'll learn, the faster you will get the points you want to get the grades you want to check out and be done. Bam. It's a lot like life. The harder you work, the luckier you get, and the more stuff happens to you that's good. So, just stay on it. From the word go, go, and work hard. It's kind of like a job. Now, again, I don't like to associate learning with a job, but people are really focused on that in college anymore. So treat it like a job if that makes you feel better about it. And a job, you go to work on Monday and you work till Friday and you punch the time clock and you're done for the weekend, and you've done a certain amount of work in that week and you get paid at the end. That's the way this class works. You don't do any work this week, you don't get no money and you don't get no points. You do that enough weeks, you don't do anything, you fail. But if you work overtime, I'll pay you overtime and points, and you can finish early and retire happily ever after. Now, here's how it works. And this is all in the syllabus, which I hope you've already pored over passionately multiple times at this point. It is easily the longest syllabus you'll ever have in college, and if not, tell me and I'll make mine longer than whatever one you've seen. So I'm going to give the rundown of this, paint the general picture here. All the details are in the syllabus. In fact, many more details are in the syllabus, and you do need to read through the syllabus. In fact, I might have a quiz just on the syllabus this year to give you some points just for reading the syllabus. Anyway, world regions point breakdown. Here's how it works. As I've now already alluded to, say you need 1,400 points to get an A, and I don't know, 1,270 to get a B, and 1,100 to get a C. I don't know, it's in the syllabus. That is the set, okay? I'm probably going to offer you 2,000, 2,100, 2,400 point opportunities. So right there, you can just stop the clock and be like, wait, whoa, there are some things I don't have to do? Correct. More on that in a minute. But here's how it works for the kind of big picture. In the syllabus, you'll see that there's 6 or 7 major options of things you can do to earn these points towards your final grade. I like to break them down into kind of the 3 and 3. There's 3 major ways you can earn points in this course, and 3 minor ones. The first major way to earn points is the weekly book reading quiz. And again, you can start those right this second if you like. You could read the entire book in the first week of classes and go take all the quizzes. Go for it, man. I love you. The weekly book quiz means that every week during the entire semester, there is a single quiz on this Moodle system that pulls questions from 2 chapters of the book. So roughly 2 chapters. Sometimes it's a little more. In the very first weekly book reading quiz, quiz number 1, which will be due in the second week of class, it'll say read chapters 1 and 2 and then go take this quiz. And it's due by Friday at 5 p.m. It's open right now. Go take it right now, but it's going to end Friday at 5 p.m. And there's a new one every week. I shouldn't say there's a new one every week. All 13 quizzes are already posted right now, and they're all open right now. Right now. So you can go read as much as you want and work ahead as much as you want. Keep in mind, when I said quiz 1 is due Friday at 5 p.m., that means that Friday at 5 p.m., quiz 1 goes away. And the week after that, quiz 2 goes away. And the week after that, quiz 3 goes away. So you can take 13 quizzes right now, work to your heart's content, and get way ahead. Just don't get behind and keep taking the one quiz a week, at least, that's due that week. Make sense so far? I'm going to make it even easier for you. It's hilarious. You can take that quiz as many times as you want. What? Well, yeah, I'll make it tougher. You can use your book. You can have an open book, open notes. Take the quiz and take it as many times as you want. This is like free money. What's this guy talking about? All the quizzes are open, and you can go take quiz 1 right now. And if you get, I don't know how many questions, it's probably 15 or 20 questions. If you get 100 on it, you're done. If you don't get 100 on it, maybe you get a 50 on it. Take it again. Maybe the next time after that, you get a 75 on it. Take it again if you want. And next time you get 90%, take it again. You can take it as many times as you want. It will only record your highest grade attempt. So go for it. Now, having said that, what should you get on the weekly book reading quiz? That's right. You should get 100% every week. And each one of these are worth 30 points. You should get 30 points every week. It's a lockbox. I'm giving it to you, basically. Just go do it. It's like, boom, right there, 30 points, boom. 30 points, boom, every week. Put it in your pocket. You got to read the chapter and get the questions right, but you are allowed unlimited attempts at that all week long. Or I should say all semester long if you want to work ahead. Now, having said that, I do have to pass along words of advice that have accumulated over the decades of me teaching this class, where former students have said, hey, Boyer, dude, I got some advice for future students. Boyer, you need to tell future students this. And I'm like, okay, really? I do tell. I'm intrigued. And hundreds, nay, thousands of students who have taken this course in the past have said, dude, just tell future students to just read the book. And it gets me every time, because I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course they read the book. You read the chapters and you take the quiz. And people are like, no. And what I've come to understand over the years is that students are clever. They think they're clever, whatever. And people go for the lowest common denominator and do the least amount of work. And so they've now heard me say, well, you can take this quiz as many times as you want. And so the supposedly clever people are like, aha, I got him. I'm not reading. Reading's like hard, and it's got words and stuff. I'm just going to go click the buttons. He's already told me I can do it until I get an A. So I'll go in there, and it gives me 20 questions, and I click, and I see which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong, and I'll just hit refresh and do it again, and I'll get an A. You know. So what I've told you is you can take the quiz as many times as you want. I'm not suggesting you're going to see the same 20 questions every time. Gotcha. There might be hundreds of questions in the question pool for, quiz 6. You're only going to see 20. And so you will see 20, and if you hit refresh and do the quiz again, you might see a totally different 20. So the scammer students who think they're saving time by not actually reading and really just want to persist in cheating, they'll just click buttons, see which ones I got right, write those down, see which ones I got wrong, figure them out, do it again. Click, just see which ones I got right. Click, just see which ones I got right. Do that to your heart's content. You'll be doing it for hours. Some people spend hours cheating on these quizzes. And that's why former students are like, dudes, tell people just to read the chapter. It takes like 20 minutes to read this chapter. Okay, maybe 30. And you can take notes and you can have an open book. But if you read it, you can, on the first go of taking a quiz, will get an 80 or 85 or 90%, maybe 100. And on the second time of you taking it, and they take like 5 minutes to take, you should get 100. So I guess cheat if you like, but former students have said, yeah, don't. Not on the book reading quiz. It's set up for you to succeed. Again, 30 points a week times 13 weeks. That's 390 points. Bam! See what I did right there? Bam! Right in the pocket. You keep taking those quizzes till you get 100 or till you get the grade you want. And that should be 390 points as a foundation of you taking this course. Right there. You're a quarter of the way home, or is it a third of the way to an A already? That's the first major way to earn points. Second major way, worth even more points, is that every week, as you are doing right this second, there are video lectures for you to watch. And every week, I will, again, send out a class email. I send out a class email either Saturday or Sunday. And I'll say, here's all the things that are due this week. Go do book reading quiz once, then go watch these intro lectures, and then go take this quiz, and then go watch this film and go take this quiz. So the video lectures are a huge, huge point accumulator. And again, treat it like this is a live lecture, except it's online. So I'm going to do several hours worth of lecturing a week, but it's recorded. And you'll go watch those lectures, and then I'll point to the quizzes that you go take after you've watched those lecture quizzes. People really like the lecture quizzes, not because I think I'm particularly that savvy or smart, but you can rewind them anytime you like. You can watch them anytime you like. You can watch them at 3 a.m. if you like. You can watch it 10 times at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday if you like. You can do whatever you like. So there's not a lot of excuse for, I didn't understand the material, I didn't get it. You will watch it till you get it. And take good notes. Treat it like a real lecture. Then, when you're ready, take your notes, and open notes, and go take the quiz. Now, here's the caveat for this one, though. Those will also be due every week, Friday at 5, by 5 p.m. They'll be open all week, okay? But due by Friday at 5. And there'll be new ones posted every week. So unlike the book reading quizzes, which are all up right now, when it comes to video lectures, there'll only be a certain amount that are activated every week. You can go look in the syllabus and see the schedule for the entire semester, but the quizzes for those video lectures go just 1 week blocks at a time, okay? Here's the harder thing. You only get one attempt at the video lecture quizzes. Yeah. So you can attempt to scam the book reading quiz if you want and click around 50 tries. You do not have that luxury of cheating on the video lecture quizzes. You do need to take good notes, and you do need to think about the material, and you do need to go into the one attempt you get at that quiz ready to go. And they're timed. So you're on the clock. And now it gets worse. There's a 50% threshold scoring on those in order for you to earn those points. What do I mean by that? Say it's a video lecture quiz and it has 20 questions. If you can't even successfully get the right answers on 10 of them, your entire score is going to be wiped out. You have to get above 50%. You have to score above, get more than 10 right on a question or a quiz that has 20 questions. You have to get at least 10 right in order to earn any of the points. So if you get 50% or less, your score just gets wiped out. And that's your one attempt and you're done. If you score 60%, then you keep those points. You keep the 60% of whatever that quiz is worth. If you get all the points right, if you get all the questions right, you get 100% of whatever that quiz is worth. But if you score less than 50, take it seriously. Now, I don't even know how much points the video lectures are worth yet because I'm currently building some new lecture material right now. So there could be hundreds of points more than I even know right this second by the end of the semester. But ballparking it, there's like 6 or 7 or 800 points worth of video lecture quizzes. You do the math real quick. 700 points of video lecture material, plus I've already got 400 in my pocket from the book reading quizzes. You're almost done. So stay diligent on your book reading quizzes. Do as many, if not all, of the video lecture quizzes every week. And you're not going to get hundreds on all those, but you'll keep accumulating a lot of points. It may even be closer to 1,000 points. I don't know by the end of the semester worth of video lectures. So stay on it. One attempt, timed 50% threshold. Take it seriously. Third big way to earn points in this course is watching international films. Oh my gosh, watching movies, that's an easy way to earn points. Yeah, it's tough. These are getting more and more tough the further down this list we go. And I'm doing this, I think, only for the second or third semester now, using film every week, and I'm doing it because so many students over the past couple decades have said they really enjoyed it and really learned a lot from film, and so I've decided to make it worth a lot more points because it is a time dedication. So what this is about is every week I will have an international film selected for you to watch. Now again, this is an online course, so you can do it in the luxury of your own home or your apartment or your dorm or whatever. And I will point, if I can find free copies of this, I'll point to it, or maybe it's on Netflix, or maybe it's over here, or maybe you buy it from Google Play, whatever. I'll say, hey, here's this week's movie. Here's where you can get it from. Every week there'll be one. They'll be worth 40 points each, the quiz that's on that film. And you can take up to 10, so that's another 400 points? Am I mad? Can you earn that many points? 400 points? By watching a film every week and taking a quiz on it? I know, that's as many as the book reading quizzes. Here's the catch. There's always a catch, right? The films are the toughest of the three so far, because we'll do a little primer video for you to watch before you watch the film, where I'll give a brief lecture about what you're getting ready to see in the film. Then you watch the film, and then I'll have an outro lecture that sums things up. The quiz will be based on the movie itself, but also the intro and outro lectures that you watch beforehand. So typical movies, say maybe 2 hours, you're going to have to do 2.5 or 3 hours of dedication to get all the material for this stuff. So it is more challenging yet. It's only open for 72 hours throughout the week. So while these other activities are open either all the time, like the quizzes, book quizzes, or a week at a time, like the video quizzes, these are only open in 3-day windows, 72-hour window to be exact. And that would be, I believe, this semester we're going to try Saturday 1 p.m. to Tuesday 1 p.m., which means you can do this on a Saturday night, a Sunday night, or a Monday night, right? You like doing stuff in the morning? Then get up on one of those mornings and do it. But you only got 72 hours. You only get one attempt at those. They are also timed. It gets worse. 70% threshold in order to keep your points. Most of the quizzes are 10 questions only. If you get less than 7 questions correct, your score just gets wiped out. You only get one attempt, that's it. They are super tough. They are super challenging. I'm not trying to scare you. I just want to level with you. So if you think that you're going to put on a movie, let's say this week's movie is Goodbye Lenin from Germany. It's a great film. And you think that, I'll put that on my computer screen in one window while I write my term paper, or I'm Skyping with my friends, or I'm shopping on eBay. Because all of you in college now are multitaskers, right? Except you're not. I know. It's so sad. Everybody thinks that you're a multitasker, and everybody thinks, oh no, I know no one else is, but I actually am. No, you're not. So the reason I'm telling you this is because if you put a movie on in the background while you're doing other work, and you go to take the quiz I'm going to give you on that movie, you will fail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No way. It might behoove you to actually watch the film a couple of times if you're really worried about it. You should take notes on the film. You should take notes on the intro and outro videos that I give you about the film. Because it's tough, and again, 70% threshold, don't even bother wasting your time thinking that you're going to put a movie on in the background or just go click, but not watch the movie at all, and just go click buttons. Seriously, don't even waste your time. There's no way you can pass. No way. I'm not even trying to, again, I'm not trying to scare you. I want you to do well. I just want you to take it seriously. I mostly want you to actually really engage with the film. We don't do this enough in life. Take the time to sit down for a couple hours of your busy week and just watch something with no distractions. it's just watching. Again, you can take some notes if you like. I actually encourage group play for this one. Do it with friends. Get a big group together. Rent out a classroom or a place where it has a big movie screen and watch it together, or do it in your frat house together. People do this all the time. They send me awesome pictures of film parties they have. Might be worth some extra credit too, but do it with friends, with family. Take it seriously. Actually watch the film. Hell, chat with people about the film. What did you learn from it? And then when you're good and ready in this 72-hour window, go take the quiz and hope for the best. You should do fine. Again, I'm not really trying to scare you that much. People learn so much from film nowadays, maybe just as much, if not more, than they do from reading. So it's a super awesome assignment that so many people have loved. I do want you to take it seriously and don't think it's just watching a film. It's a bit more than that. It's a bit more than that, especially the way that people watch films nowadays on their cell phones. They watch a movie. I'm like, how are you doing that? It's insane. And forget the multitasking stuff. That's out the window. Okay, this has already gone on way too long. We got a ways to go. So that's the 3 major ways to earn points. 3 major ways: book reading quizzes, video lecture quizzes, film quizzes. New stuff every week. Every week, something new's coming up, so don't get behind on it. There are 3 minor ways you can also earn points, though, and these I can cover a lot quicker. And that is that throughout the semester, time permitting, I'll do this thing called a flash quiz. Now, I've already mentioned I might do a flash lecture, a flash live lecture, and I hope to do those as well. I'll just sporadically get a room somewhere and say, hey, does anybody want to come hang out? Flash quizzes will actually be a recorded video of me, just like this, talking about a current event. Something will happen in the news, and students will hit me up and say, hey, what's going on? And I will try to answer them in a video format. And then I'll make a quiz on it. So they're sporadic, erratic, and automatic, because when I make this flash quiz on, a crisis in, central China, I will record it, I'll post it up and say, here's where this is, and it'll be like a 24-hour window. Here's this very short video, actually some of them can be long, and here's the quiz on it, and it's only up for 24 hours. So you'll get an email on top of the weekly work email. You might just get an email that says flash in the subject line. That means flash quiz. Here's the link to it, and then go take the quiz on it if you want to. If you want to. They're open for a very limited time. So stay connected, stay in the game. When you see it, go watch it, go take the quiz on it. It's also a 1 attempt, 50% threshold, timed, bam. Got to hit it and get it when they pop up. I hope to do 1 a week. I'm trying to get back into the groove this semester. I can't promise anything, but it's yet another way to earn points. They may be worth 15 or 20 or 30 points depending on how tough the topic is. I encourage you all to hit me up nonstop and ask for flash quizzes and say, hey, I want to know what's going on here, what's going on there, what's going on in Canada, what's going on with the Rio Olympics. If enough people hit me up about a topic, then I'll do a flash quiz on it. As I suggested, I also am going to do some flash live lecturing. And so anytime I do a live lecture anywhere, I will automatically then make a flash quiz just off of that. And that's not recorded. So if you want those point opportunities, you'll have to come to the live lecture if and when it occurs. Okay. The second minor way to earn points is the Twitter assignment. And the Twitter assignment is outlined in great detail, as all of these things are in the syllabus. But the Twitter assignment is that you can, for the entire semester, pretend to be a Plaid world leader. And those are based on real people, real humans, but we all have a set of fake accounts. Don't create your own. You have to come to us to get one of ours. So there's like a Plaid Barack Obama, and there's a Plaid David Cameron of Great Britain. Oh, wait a minute, he just quit. So we need a new one, a new leader of Great Britain on our Plaid accounts. And there's a Plaid Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. And what you'll do is say, hey, I want to be Angela Merkel for this semester, and you will tweet several times a day as you are actually that president slash prime minister slash important world person. Again, all the details are in the syllabus. Go check that one out if you like to Twitter. That's really only for people that really dig the Twitter, because it is work. But I think you can earn maybe 100, 200, 250 points from that. It's time dedication. It's a daily thing, but you can earn some serious points. The third minor way to earn points is what we call outside event papers, and that is there's always happenings here on an awesome college campus like ours. There may be a speaker from Zimbabwe that's going to talk about the Zimbabwean economy on campus, or maybe there's a Nepalese film festival that's occurring in a month, or maybe there's a Chinese cultural exhibit happening in one of the halls. Anything that has an international element to it, even if it's a specific topic, maybe it's electrical engineers from Australia are coming to do a lecture. If that's your gig, if it's got an international dimension to it, you can go to the event or the cultural event or the showing or whatever it is, and then write a paper on it. And that could be worth, I think, 50 or 75 points as well. You can do one of those throughout the semester. And those do have to be cleared with us in advance, so hit up me and or your TA and say, hey, I'm thinking about this event. Does this count? Can I do this for a paper? And we'll tell you, sure, probably looks good. I'm actually thinking of adding another minor way to earn points this semester called the International Interview. If you go back to that plaidavenger.com website and click on International Interviews, it'll take you to a page where I did this thing a while back where I would talk to people just casually from around the world. Then I developed a student-derived project where students would talk to anyone from another place on planet Earth and record the audio of it and then post it onto this site. If anyone's interested in maybe doing that for points, hit me up. We'll allude to it in the syllabus, but we'll only give out the full-scale instructions for those that are really interested. So, international interview, think about it if you like talking to other people, personally learning about what's going on in other parts of the world. Okay, so 3 major ways to earn points, 3 minor ways to earn points, maybe 4 minor ways to earn points. But now it's time for a warning. Warning, warning, warning. Don't panic. Chill. Keep in mind you do not have to do all of the things I just said. Remember, this is a point accumulation system. All of this stuff is optional. Now, you'd be a fool to not do the book reading quizzes, and you'd be a fool to not do most of the video lecture quizzes, but if that's the way you like to roll, then opt to do some or all or none of those. You don't have to do everything for sure, though. You got to do something, but you don't have to do it all. So we may have, again, 2,000, 2,500 points of opportunities by the end of the semester. Of course, you're not going to do them all. You don't have to. You only need, say, 1,400 to get an A. You should do all the book reading quizzes. Those are just the easiest. You should do most of the video lectures. I would say mix in some film. If you really like film, do them all. And then if you kind of like Twitter, do that. If you want to do an outside paper, you like writing, do that. But you don't have to do them all. And I say this specifically because when it comes to things like the Flash Live Lecture or the Flash Quizzes on current events, those will just pop up sporadically, and it's going to at some point seem like it's overwhelmed, that I'm sending you emails all the time about all this work, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's another quiz this week, I got a chemistry exam and a paper due, and I can't do all this stuff, this class sucks, I hate this professor, it's too much work. And then I say, deep breath, remember, it's optional. Oh, that's right, I don't hate you after all. Thank you. It can seem overwhelming, but remember, it's all paced. So there's stuff to do every week. The trick is to just do something every week, and in weeks where you have more time, do more. There you go. And don't keep putting it off towards the end of the semester. Oh, I'll do some more next week. Oh, yeah, I got busy again. I'll do more the week after that. Nope, that's where you get into trouble. So do more when you can. Work ahead when you can. And you'll find that, yeah, those points rack up fairly quickly, and it's not that big a deal. Having said that, I did forget there's a couple of other possible point opportunities. Possible for those that like to do things more on the exotic side. And that is, it's a perennial favorite. I don't know why. But there's a possible way to earn a big chunk of points, and that's from something I've called the World Leader Death Watch. I know. It's terrible. The Death Watch? What? Okay, here's the deal. You, the people of this class, are going to pick nine peeps that are either presidents, prime ministers, leaders of their countries, world religion leaders, world business leaders, important people in charge of important organizations around the planet, and you're going to pick the 9 that you don't think will survive this semester. What? Yes, if they pass away or are assassinated, and this is actually not as morbid as it sounds. If they pass away or assassinated, they're marked off the list. But if they actually just get thrown from office, they retire early or they're ejected from office or there's a revolution and they get thrown out of office, that they get crossed off the list too. And what we'll do is we'll put the 9 people in the grid that this class picks, and you will send me your picks as you learn more about world leaders throughout the semester, and say, oh, we should have this guy up or this person up or this lady up. And we'll arrange these 9 peoples that you pick into the Death Watch grid. And by the semester's end, if any 3 people in a row, across, up and down, or diagonally, die and you complete the tic-tac-toe, 200 points for the entire class. Oh my God, did he just say that? It is sick. It is disgusting. And it's never really happened, so don't get your hopes up and really do not bank on getting these points by the end of the semester. It's mostly an exercise in you understanding what's going on in the world and following the news and picking people that should be on that grid. Having said that, we've gotten close a couple of times, and the Castro brothers remain solidly in center square for over a decade now. This is the grid from last semester. Those guys, one of them's got to die sooner or later. They're like 300 years old. So there's every opportunity to complete the grid. I'll take your suggestions in order to fill out that grid. But one last thing. If I at any point, remember, 3 across, 3 up and down, 3 diagonally, everyone gets 200 points. But if I find out at any given point this semester that anyone in this class has played a hand in the demise of one of the leaders on the Death Watch grid, extra credit. Oh my God, I'm joking. No, I'm not. I'm joking. That's silly. Okay. Oh, by the way, don't get... For those that are sensitive, and you should be, this really is not as morbid as it sounds. It's a learning thing, so don't drop the class because you think I'm some sort of psycho. I'm not. Well, mostly not. The other thing that will prove that I'm not a complete psycho is a much more user-friendly way to earn some side points and learn a little bit about your campus. And that is something we just devised last year, tried it for the first time, and it's called... It's kind of a spin on Where's Waldo, but it's the professor edition. So it's Where's Waldo on our campus, aka Find Your Professor. And that's me. Every week we will post up a scene from somewhere on campus with me in it. And what you have to do is figure out where it's at, and not just tell me where it's at, because I already know where I'm at. You have to duplicate the picture exactly with yourself in that exact spot. The first 20 people that do it get 20 points. The next 20 people who do it get 10 points. And everybody else who does it, period, gets 5 points after that. So we'll send out instructions on how that will happen every week. But if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll actually plot it out a little bit better, because I'm kind of feeling this out to see if anybody wants to do it right this second. So the Death Watch, the Where's Waldo, aka Find Your Professor on campus, will start up as soon as I get some feedback from you all. And that's about it. So 3 major ways to earn points, 3 minor ways to earn points, a couple of goofball ways to earn points. That's how we roll. That's how we roll here in World Regions. And for the 10th time, this is all in the syllabus, and for the 10th time, it's a point accumulation thing that once you get to 1,400 points, even if you do it in a month and a half, you're done. There's no final exam. You don't have to keep going. You can if you want to. And usually people who keep going are trying to get the #1 top slot, because there's usually some sort of Plaid Avenger prize, whoever scores the highest score, but that's up to you. See the grade breakdown of the syllabus. Focus on and think about in advance what you would like to do, what you're going to do to earn those points. Almost 400 for the book reading quizzes. Almost 400 for the films if you do those every week. 6, 7, 8, 900 for video lecture quizzes. It adds up pretty fast, and an undisclosed number of points for the flash quizzes, current event flash quizzes, live lecture quizzes, anything, Find Your Professor. You can kind of pile stuff up fairly quickly. When it comes to doing any sort of live lecture or flash quizzes on a flash podcast on current events, the more you bug me about this stuff, the more I'll create for you. If it's too much for you already, then just say, I don't care. I'm just going to do the base and get my A. Good for you. Go do that. I want to go do other stuff. Hey, boy, I want to learn more. Do more. Show me more stuff. Then hit me up, and I'll do as much as I can. You can check the syllabus to see all of the details. But do keep in mind that this should be an easy A. Should be. And in fact, a lot of people say, oh, that World Regions class, everybody takes that class eventually. Yeah, it's an easy A. Good. I'm pleased as punch. I think all of you can get an A. I want all of you to get an A. I'm not one of those professors that's like, no, only 2 people can get an A and everybody else has to get an F because my class is hard. Not here. I say you put the work in, and by doing the work, you're learning stuff, and you're engaging in the material, and you're getting excited and curious about the world. That's what I'm here for, man. So you do the work, you put in the time, you're going to get the points, and every one of you should get an A. And you know what? They'll fire me eventually, because 2,000 people will all get A's. But I kind of say, well, I did my job if everybody got an A. How can you get this easy A? And again, a lot of people say, oh, it's an easy A. And then they think for a second, they're like, yeah, it was an easy A, but I had to do a lot of work. Yeah! That's what yeah! You had to do work. I'm all good with that. So do the work and do it diligently. And that's just a fancy word for do it on a regular basis. Don't wait. Yes, everything is due on a weekly basis, Friday at 5 p.m. And that really sucks, right? Who wants to work at Friday at 5 p.m.? Not me. I haven't done that for decades. That's just it, though. You don't have to work Friday at 5 p.m. I'm telling you, that's when the deadline is. All of the materials we're talking about are open for weeks or months at a time. Every week that goes by, stuff disappears. So there's tons of points open to you in week 1. And in week 14, there's no points available for you to take because the class is over. So things will disappear. And I do want you to understand that when you say, oh man, all this stuff is due Friday at 5. This class sucks. Who wants to work Friday at 5? You are choosing to work Friday at 5 p.m. because I've given you a whole week to take some of this stuff, or months to take some of this stuff, depending on what it is. You can take this, you can watch the lectures or watch this film or read the book at Monday at 3 p.m. or Tuesday at 7 p.m. or Wednesday at 3 a.m. or Saturday night at midnight and go take these quizzes. If you have to take a quiz by Friday at 5 p.m. because you haven't done it yet, whose fault is that? Is it this guy? Is it this guy's fault? Nope, it's your fault. So be diligent. Create your workspace and your workflow around this class and say, here's what I got to do. Just going to sit down and do it. Again, it's much like life. It's much like your career and your workplace. So you might as well get hip to it now. Here's what you got to do. Get her done. All of you should get an A. Again, I would just be tickled pink if everybody gets an A. And some of you won't. And this class, people have said for years, it's like impossible to fail Boyer's class. It's impossible. I like to think that too, but trust me, some of you special few will do the impossible, and you will fail this class. Happens every semester. How do you fail the class? That's easy. There's only one way, and it's the same way that the people who have failed this class over the years have done it every time. And that is they put stuff off. They say, oh, wow, well, you said the first week there's all this stuff I can do, which is true. And he's going to give us twice as many points as we need to get an A. That's probably true. And there's all this work to do. I can do it anytime I want. It's true. So I'll do it 3 weeks from now. Fail. You get behind in life. You get busy. Certain weeks you get busier than others. You know this. So the way people fail is, I don't really feel like doing it this week, so I'll do more next week. And then next week rolls around, and oh, something bad happened to me this week. I got sick, so I'll do it the week after that. Oh, the week after that, oh yeah, my great grandfather died, and then my dog had kidney stones, and I'll do it the week after that. And oh, I'll catch up at Thanksgiving break. I'll catch up on everything. Nope, you've already put a fork in you like the Thanksgiving turkey. You're already done by that point. You can't wait to the end to do 2,000 points worth of stuff because it disappears as every week passes by. So stay on it. Again, some of you will just be like, oh, I'm going to put it all off to the very end and I'll do it all last week. What? I can't? I can't do anything? Fail. So don't do that. I want you all to get engaged with this material, be it readings, film, lectures, events, whatever. I want you to learn. I want you to get engaged, globally literate, get fired up about this great global life that's been given to you, because you're going to like work and play all over the world and have associates and date all over the international spectrum. So I want you to get wise about that stuff right now. Get into it. Let's do it. Are you ready to do this? Then let's get this global game on, and let's get the class game on right now. Get to work and party on.